Hey legends, as you may have seen, the Western media has been going crazy, saying there's going to be 200,000 troops, 100,000 artillery, rockets, everything coming across at, they're quoting 1am or 3am tonight. Now, the big thing I want to say about that is no one fucking knows, but I guess Vladimir Putin and maybe a few other officials, if that's true or not. I think the Western media is just spinning this all up off a sort of misguided quote of the president yesterday in relation to my last video. Oh, good morning, everyone. I hope you're well. I hope you had a good sleep. And most importantly, I'm still here. The Russians didn't invade like all the news and so-called intelligence was telling us. And I guess I'm here to talk about what was the feeling last night in the city, because last night Ukraine came under a cyber attack to the banks and all the websites for the Ministry of Defence, the government, everything was all down. And that mixed in with the last 2 days of, I guess, chatter around invasion on Wednesday morning around 1 or 3 a.m. And then that cyber attack happening last night, people thought, including myself, I'm sort of like, maybe this is fucking on. And, went out and had a beer last night to talk to people and see about how they felt. And the bars were pretty empty. There wasn't that many people on the street. But it still astounds me how people just get on with life. And I was talking to the bartender and she was basically just saying to me, look, we've been at war for 9 years. There's been so much threat like this before. We're used to it. We don't believe it. But I think this just shows how wrong the mainstream media got it. There were headlines of showing artillery bloody rockets going 3 a.m. the attack, 3 a.m. this is happening, 200,000 troops, one even said like 200,000 rockets coming into the city, which is just ridiculous. And one thing I do want to stress is there's not that many fucking journalists here. All the journalists you're seeing on the mainstream are in Kiev. They're 500 kilometers to the west. They're not here. And then there's a few who are further east than me again. I know at least one guy who's, further out. But he even said to me, look, we're probably some of the most eastern journalists here. Everyone else is reporting from Kiev, and they're just getting whatever they get offline. Now, there's guys reporting on what is exactly happening on the front, and I'm trying to talk about what the feeling of the city is, and then I'll report if there was an invasion in the city. But I don't know. The coming days will tell. There's been a lot of talk about the Minsk agreement being thrown up, and Donetsk becoming its own independent state from Russia and Ukraine, and I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, still here, still alive. Russia didn't invade. Do I actually think they'll invade? The whole time here, I've been pretty confident that it's not going to happen. I just think it's so massive and so much bloodshed and so much economic and political fallout that neither country it's not worth it for anyone. I don't know. And I know there's so many of these news sources being like, we know it's happening here and there. And so far, all of them have been wrong. The only bloke who bloody knows is probably Putin and maybe some of his trusted insiders. I can tell you it's not Sally off the news sitting in Kiev somewhere or sitting back in Australia or America. So yeah, this one, I was thinking, shit, maybe this video, because I woke up at 3 a.m. thinking maybe I need to get my camera and run down and film some T-80s rolling through town, but no. So at the moment I'm working on getting in with some of the militias and filming that, but we will see. So I can't stay here forever. Money is still definitely limited. But yeah, this video will be on the feeling of last night. So thank you, and have a lovely day. And if something does kick off in the next week or so, I'll still be here. Terrible time for that joke, but breaking news right now is there's been incoming reports of large-scale cyber attacks against Ukraine Ministry of Defence website. I double checked on my phone and laptop, and that website is completely down. And the two largest banks in Ukraine being Privatbank and Ощадbank. Now, I'm sorry about the pronunciation, but both of those, apparently you can't pull money out of the terminals, and the apps are down. And whether this is the beginning to something or whether this is just, bad timing, we will see. I'm running trivia at the pub tonight, and it's Australian trivia, so I need someone who will speak it into Ukrainian, I bet, but it's all Australian questions, so I'm going to go to the pub now. But if something does kick off, I will be definitely, taking my camera along and seeing how we go. That said, I don't know what's going to happen first. My fucking Uber arrived, and I've been waiting for half an hour, and it's been 4 k's away. All the Russians to attack. You never know, maybe I'll jump a lift on a fucking T80 tank to the pub. You never know. It's weird to believe the Western media, which I think after all this COVID stuff, a lot of people's trust is gone with the Western media. But if we are to believe them and their intelligence that they're coming back with, tonight is the night. Tonight is the night, either 1 or 3 a.m, that Ukraine will be invaded by Russia. And it's funny, looking around, people are going to yoga classes next door, and people are out for dinner, and last night was Valentine's Day. People are just going about their everyday life. It's a very weird thing. Like, shit, look, when we had a lockdown and everyone rushed to go get toilet paper and panic about food, and there's people just getting out of a taxi and going out for dinner. It's crazy. And I'm sure the pub I'm going to is going to be just the same. People come to the pub to listen to me do bloody Australian trivia. But if tonight's the night, it'll be very interesting, it'll be revolutionary, and it will be, I guess, the start of something new and the start of something terrible. It doesn't matter what side you're on, the loss of life on either side is shocking. The young people, the humans at the end of the day. There's a guy I know in Kiev, the capital here, a few 100 k's west, who's running an end of the world party tonight, and I think that's a lot of how people are feeling here. I spoke about the other day of the band playing on the Titanic as it was sinking. I think there's been people here more or less accept that it's either going to happen or not, and that either way they have to go about their everyday life and just roll with it and see what comes. It's formidable people, it's strong, tough people that have been through this before, and Ukrainians and Ukraine through well over 1,000 years have been in and out of conflict and in and out of this, and I tell you, it's a credit to them of how tough and strong just everyone is. And most people saying we're picking up weapons or we're doing this, it's the feeling is very weird tonight. It's very weird. Привет. Sorry, English only. Only English.
Only English?
Yeah, only the English, yeah.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good,
but
good.
my English language so-so, okay?
That's alright, that's alright. It's nice to meet you.
I'm sorry?
It's nice to meet you.
It's nice, it's very nice, huh? Because it's my town, it's my city. I was born here.
Yes.
I'm Kharkov citizen, okay?
Yes.
I was born here, I study here, okay? And now I'm working here.
Yes.
Yes, I have wife, I have son, I have daughter.
Oh, away. Yeah.
Yeah?
Da.
Okay, thank you.
Stay safe.
Yes, I'm glad to speak with you.
You
English
too.
Language.
Thank you. Spasiba.
Спасибо. Good luck.
That's all the English one. That's all Ukrainian knows. Spasiba.
So.
Stay safe. Goodbye.
Okay. Good luck.
Oh, the bar's empty. Hey, how are you getting on with it?
No. More likely they are calm about this because that's a problem of more like in armies.
Yeah.
So armies have always argued, and I believe that it will be like a 100-year war between England and France.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same.
So you don't think that Russia will like invade?
I don't think that they will have anything serious.
Yeah.
So they may have, you know, like all armies, they may have like a conflict, even with maybe some kind of death. Not many, I think.
Yeah.
More, it's more like you know, like a pressure, like kind of pressure.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.